Okay, so hi guys, my name is Felicity. I work at the University for the Creative Arts. So I am one of the regional recruitment managers, which means that I look after a specific group of students from a specific group of countries. But then I also have staff who look after an even broader range of countries. So inevitably, you all end up coming back to me in the end. I have worked for UCA for a long time now, so I know a lot of information, not just about art and design, but about portfolios and all sorts of different things. So please feel free to ask me absolutely anything. There's no such thing as a daft question. And even if it is daft, I will have been asked it before, and I'm always happy to answer them. Okay, all right, I'm going to start this presentation and share it. Okay. All right, so I think you guys can see this, can't you? Let me start it properly. Just a bit slow ticking through. Okay, all right, so as I said, we are the University for the Creative Arts. Okay, little video about us. All student work done by students for students. Love this video. Okay, so that is one of our fabulous videos. I mean, I think we've got a million things like this on YouTube, but obviously it's really important for us to be able to share with you guys the student work. So all student work done by our students. Okay, so one of the main things that UCA as an institution encourages is to make sure that you guys will have jobs once you graduated. Now, a lot of parents really have the impression that if you go and do art and design at university, you are not going to have a job at the end of it. You are going to live in a one-room flat. You are never going to have any success. That is so incredibly wrong. In the UK, the art and design industry is bigger than the hospitality industry. It's so huge. Everything we do, everything in life has an aspect of art and design to it. So the computer that I'm using to show you this has been created in part by a UX UI designer, which is an art and design student. The surface layout has been created by an art and design student. The clothes that we're wearing, the makeup that we put on, the phone that we use, everything comes from art and design students. Even traditional business is desperate for art and design students because they want creative students now. So it's a huge industry. As I said, in the UK, it is bigger than our hospitality industry. 1 in every 8 jobs is in the creative industries. And what else can I tell you? And it's growing. The creative industries in the UK, pandemic excluded, was growing at a rate of 5 times faster than the broader UK economy. So massive industry. And these are just some of the things that our students have gone on to do. And remember, by the time you graduate, so by 2050, they estimate that 2 in every 5 jobs that exist now will not exist then and will have been replaced by something completely different. So you guys, as the creative thinkers, are going to be at the forefront of that. You think, when I went to university, so I'm 35 now, I went to university 17 years ago. God, Jesus. I went to university a long time ago. Social media just wasn't a thing. You know, Facebook only started when I went to university. So the idea of being a social media influencer, a content creator, and all of that huge industry around that, that's a new industry. And if you think that that's just going to stay the same, you're very wrong. So all of these new mediums, all of these different ways of doing art and design are really going to be headed by you guys as a younger generation. Gen Z, we're excited for you. Okay, so these are just some of the things our students have gone in to do. And then, yeah, just a few more bits about the creative economy in the UK. And it is important to know, because if you want to, once you come to the UK, you will have the 2-year post-study work visa to stay after you've graduated if you want to. And then just some of the employability information in the UK. So where do the jobs tend to be? So mostly they're in London and down in the southeast, which is perfect for us because that's where we are. But what will you learn on an art and design degree? So we're not just going to teach you art and design skills. We're also going to make you into a real adult in the real world who is employable, not just to be employed in a company, but to also have the ability to start your own business. We want you to be a really employable individual. That's massively important to us. And throughout your studies, it'll be drilled into your head. You know, we'll show you how to present yourself to the real world, how to network, how to do so many things. And that's why we have such a good employability rating as well at the end of our studies. But why us? Why UCA? So we are a specialist art and design university. Everything we do is art and design, and everything we do, all of our money goes back into art and design. So we don't have to fund a biology lab. We don't have to pay for a fighter jet in our basement. Not important to us. All our money goes back into art and design facilities and teaching. And you will work, this is important because you will work collaboratively with students across all different courses. So if you come to us to do fashion, you're not just going to work with fashion students, you're going to work with our students in the business school, you're going to work with photography students, marketing, promotion, and advertising students, and a whole range of things. So this is important to know, that we're putting money back into our facilities because you are going to work collaboratively across those facilities. Now, we are the #1 specialist creative institution on the 3 main league tables. Now, if you look at the overall league tables, we range everywhere from 13 up to 40. And it's usually, if that university league table is based on research, that we don't do too well. Art and design universities are not big research institutions. That's probably actually a good thing for you guys, because it means that the academics aren't distracted by their research and you're being taught by our academics rather than postgraduate students. We are one of the top 5 modern universities in the UK. Now, UCA has a history going back to 1850. So we were originally 4 colleges. The first one sort of became a college in 1850, but we only became a university in 2012. 2004. So yeah, 2004. So we are still considered a modern university. Our business school is ranked number 7 in the whole of the country for business, marketing and management, which is wonderful. And our teaching is gold standard. So every university in the UK is measured for how good their teaching is, and we are gold, which we're really proud of. And honestly, if you asked me what the best thing was about the University for the Creative Arts, I would 100% say our academics. They are just so nice. They are so lovely to the students. They care so much about you, not just whilst you're studying, but after you've graduated and for your future careers as well. Now, we are 4 campuses because we evolved from the 4 different art colleges. We are 4 campuses, so 2 in Surrey, 2 in Kent, well, Epsom's London, all within an hour of London, so really perfect locations. Now, a lot of people get this idea in their head that they want to study in the centre of London. Centre of London for art and design is quite tricky. There's nowhere to actually make anything in the centre of London. So you're going to be fighting for space from the very beginning. What actually happens is that people come out from East London and West London to the areas that we are in. And especially out in Surrey, we're in an area known as the Creative Triangle. So the Creative Corridor. So it's a motorway known as the Creative Corridor, and the Golden Triangle for gaming as well. So we're really centrally located for great industries. Now, our biggest campus is Farnham, so really beautiful town, very traditional, traditional Georgian town, but with a really modern, big campus. Huge variety of things on this campus. Just some images of it. Epsom is our London campus. So Epsom's very business and fashion focused, 20 minutes into the centre. Some more images of Epsom. Rochester is our one of our Kent campuses. So here we have one of our fashion schools. We also do hair and makeup design, photography here. You do see the same course on different campuses. It's very similar courses, usually the same name, but slightly different outcome. Then we have Canterbury, which is our home for architecture. So the Canterbury School of Architecture, which is the 7th best architecture school in the UK. We also have Maidstone TV studios and the Royal School of Needlework, where students can do television production and hand embroidery. And at the Royal School of Needlework, the students did all the hand stitching for the royal wedding dresses. They were also part of the BAFTA award-winning team that created the costumes for Game of Thrones, which is very cool. Our student union, of course, we have a student union. We were voted the best. So UCA is 7,500 students, which makes us a small university. So we were voted the best small university student union in 2019, which we're really proud of. So many different things that you can do. Of course, we have a library, which is very focused on making sure that students are learning in the best way possible for them. So lots of disability and alternative learning methods requirements in the library. And our international students, of course, you guys get lots of extra help with anything that you need. Now, what we do, so UCA, we basically do everything that you can think of in art and design, and then we do more that you've never even heard of before. So we have over, I think we have over 60 undergraduate courses. You know, we have 20 something different fashion courses alone, and it is expanding each year. You get a lot of courses where you might share a first year or share some common courses, share some common modules, but then you end up with a specialization at the end of it. So these are the different focuses that we have. And as I said, it does expand. But yeah, it's a massive amount of different things that you can do. Now, our business school. So our business school is the business school for the creative industries. What sets us apart from other business schools is the focus on project work. So from the very beginning in our business school, you are going to be working as a project with people from the industry. So our students have done projects with Apple before. In fact, they do a lot of projects with Apple. We've got a really good working relationship with Apple and Sony. Marks and Spencer's, ASOS, all sorts of different people. But that is the focus for us. We want you to be working with industry on projects. So it's not just theoretical. We want you to actually get that very, very hands-on lived experience. You also have opportunities for placements. You can do a full year placement if you want to, mentorships, yeah, lots of different things. Okay, all right, so pre-degree courses. Now, some of you might have heard of this before. So a pre-degree course is basically a foundation. Why would you want to do a foundation? Now, in the UK, so British students, 90% of the time, if they are going to do art and design at university, they will do an art and design foundation. I did history at university. I went straight from high school to university because the gap wasn't that big. You know, the way what I studied, the way it changed, didn't really make too much of a difference to me. But the jump between high school and university is huge. It's very significant. And because you are very restricted in what you are able to study in high school. High school is very dictated to you in what you can do and how you do it, whereas university gives you a lot of independence and really broadens the range of subjects that you can do. So overall, for all universities and all courses, something like a quarter of students will either drop out or change their main program in the first year. And you can only get to a certain point in your first year before you are not allowed to change anymore. A lot of universities, once you start, that's it, you can't change. So a foundation degree or pre-degree course allows you to look at a lot of different art and design focuses that you probably haven't been able to see in high school. So it will look at film, ceramics, fashion, photography, interior design, lots of different things. Of course, if you have a preference, that's always going to be at the basis of your projects and what you want to do, but it will show you how these different things interact with your chosen subject. And this foundation year will take you around to all those different courses, introduce you to different things, and really help you to understand. So I would always recommend a foundation year for every student. It isn't going to be required if you have the right academic level. So if you've got A levels, IB, French back, it's not going to be an academic requirement. But it's still a great thing to do. But as I said, it's not always a requirement because it is an extra year of money. It is an extra year of time. So it is absolutely up to every individual student. But I will always sing the praises of a foundation year because you get so much from it. And it's such a lovely community. Now, for us, how to apply. So 2 ways to apply, really. So you can either go through our website, course pages, dead easy, or you apply through UCAS. UCAS has its own deadlines, so you need to be aware of the UCAS deadlines, whereas if you apply direct to us, it's a lot more flexible. But even with the UCAS deadlines, we can still work around them. And we are very much still open for September this year applications. Now, in terms of basic entry requirements, so for our foundation year, we ask for 12 years of schooling or 11 years where that's considered equivalent, which is equivalent to GCSE or IGCSE level. Or for those IB students, it's your middle year diploma. For our undergraduate courses, we ask for a level 3 qualification. So a level 3, if you want to go direct into one of our undergraduate courses, you need a level 3, which is A levels, IB. I'm trying to think where you guys would be from that it would be relevant. So maybe SATs, APs, ACTs. There are some countries like Malaysia, the STPM, that's a level 3 qualification, and that means you can go straight into an undergraduate course. Obviously, this is all going to be dependent on your portfolio. The most important thing for us in all of your applications is going to be your portfolio. There's loads of portfolio information on our website. There's loads of portfolio sessions this week. So I'd really strongly encourage you guys to join a portfolio session. But yeah, obviously with the pandemic and everything, there's been so many more online portfolio sessions and help. So definitely attend as many of those as you can. It doesn't matter if you're actually going to go to that university or not, you know, go see what they can tell you about portfolios. No harm. Okay. English language. So for most of you guys, you're going to come in because your high school is in English. So if your high school is in English, if you've got a specific qualification like a GCSE or A-level or IB, most universities are going to accept that. Very rarely are we going to ask you for an IELTS test. If a university does, just go back and explain it to them, because it might just be someone that's new in admissions who's seen that and doesn't understand it. So always check if they're asking you for English when you don't think they should be. And pre-sessional courses aren't going to be relevant for you guys. You're never going to need pre-sessional if you've been through an English-speaking high school. So don't worry about this. Our fees. So these are our fees for our international students. We offer lots of discounts and scholarships, including the 4% discount for all students. These fees do change each year, but they only rise with inflation. So we try and keep it as reasonable as possible. We have accommodation on every campus, and it's really nice accommodation. You can see 3D tours, virtual tours on our website. Then for our international scholarships, we actually have a lot more scholarships available than this, but the basic one is the Future Leaders Scholarship, which is a £3,000 discount. And we have 250 of these. We also have automatic discounts for students from certain countries and lots of other ones as well. So it does change year to year, so always check with us on your year of application. Progression discounts as you go through as well. And then study abroad, loads of study abroad options. These are some of the places that our students have gone to work after they've graduated. Basically, if there's a big name that you can think of, we will offer you an opportunity to go and work with them. But who? So these are some of our recent graduates. So we've had students who've gone to work for Marks and Spencer's as fashion buyers. Victor Wong was the first person to ever launch a sunglasses collection at London Fashion Week. Students who've gone to work for Star Wars and won awards for luxury hotel interior design. I'll talk to you more about Star Wars in a second. We have smashed it at London Graduate Fashion Week. So we had 2 of the big 6 winners this year, and that very often happens. Lots of awards for games and apps. We are the creators of Monument Valley, which I'm sure you will have played. Lots of different things. Students who designed jewelry for the Queen, and then some of our big alumni. So UCA, we have 12 Oscars. We have won the Turner Prize. We regularly kill it at London Graduate Fashion Week. We are incredibly well known in industry and very, very fine art, high-end art and design. But the thing that we are most well known for is, let me get it, Peppa Pig. This is the thing that we are most famous for as an institution, creating Peppa Pig. We also are the creators of Hey Duggee, which is another big kids TV show. Our animation school is the 2nd oldest in the country. So very long history. Created Where's Wally? One of our students directed Star Wars Rogue One. We have a really good working relationship with Star Wars because so much is filmed in the UK and post-production in the UK surrounding our campus. So we've sent students for a long time to go and work on Game of Thrones, Harry Potter. Students have just been working on the 2nd season of The Witcher, loads on Star Wars, lots of different UK productions and international productions as well. We also do a lot with props and scenery. At one point, UCA was making the swords for Game of Thrones, and we made the original Thor's hammer on some of the early Avengers movies, which is pretty cool. Big TV. So this is Poldark. One of our students directed Poldark, which is a big show in the UK. This is a show that mums tend to love. because it's not a very flattering picture, but the guy in the middle is actually very handsome and he likes to take his shirt off a lot. Big influential fashion designers, more Star Wars, and we also created a big Meerkat campaign. Okay, so what I'm going to do, because I know there's other sessions going on at the moment, I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And then if you guys have any questions you would like to ask me, please do ask away in the chat, or you can unmute yourself and pop yourself on video. I am going to put my email address in the chat as well. And at the end of this week, you will be getting a folder with all of our information in as well. So you can contact me through that too. But that's me. You guys got any questions at all? You're very quiet, very shy.
Hello. Can you hear me?
And yes, hi.
Hi. I was just wondering, do you perhaps happen to have any information on the architecture course?
What would you like to know?
Kind of maybe the course outline and also what is part of the major, maybe some minors about it.
So in the UK, you don't have the major minor system. So you choose your main subject of study. So if you were to come to us, your main course, your main subject of study would be architecture. Within that, there is going to be a lot of flexibility and change and different things that you can do, but your subject is architecture, and that is what you'll graduate with. You won't have minors in anything. So for us, our architecture course, it depends on you very much, but our architecture course is very much focused on environmental, like regenerating urban spaces and regenerating like that new urbanization. So moving away from the real sort of traditional luxury model, but to making more beautiful functioning spaces with what's available and what's around us. We're very strong on utilizing computational design as well. So it's really, our architecture course works very closely with our computer design course, because a big part of it is being able to show these virtual worlds for architecture as well. So that's a big element of our architecture course. Architecture students obviously work very closely with the interior design students. So again, creating that function, urban space, renewing and redeveloping, making sure that it's very economical and environmentally friendly. That's the main focus within our architecture school, I would say. Architecture courses are going to require a portfolio that really shows your understanding of lines and landscapes. Our architecture school is one of the oldest in the UK, and it has an incredible history. And is very well known in industry. Annoyingly, it's not actually that well known as UCA. Generally, it's known as the Canterbury School of Architecture, because that's where it's located, and that's the long history going back to the 1850s. So if you have a Google for the Canterbury School of Architecture, we're going to come up and you're going to see all the millions of awards that we've won on our Twitter, and the way that we are utilising that environmental urbanization. I hope that made sense. Sorry, I got a bit waffly.
Yeah, it did. All right, thank you so much.
Okay, all right, brilliant. Thank you, Nicholas.
Thanks.
All right, did anybody else have anything that they wanted to ask? Okay, so jewelry. Does it require students to have base knowledge or skills prior? So we are not going to expect you to be using diamonds and making jewelry at home, so don't worry about that. What we would like to see, though, is even if you can't physically get hold of these things, we do want to see that you've gone out and done some research on the kind of materials that are used in jewelry. Now, this doesn't have to be traditional materials. This could be plastics, this could be hair, this could be leaves. We want to see your understanding of materials and how that relates to jewelry. So lots of different playing, different methodologies. I've had students send me portfolios that have included jewelry that they've made with elastic bands. So the variety of things that you can show us is huge. We're not expecting really intricate knowledge of jewelry, because that just doesn't exist at high school level anywhere in the world. So showing us that you've looked at materials and sort of different ways of moving around with jewelry. We'd love to see you looking at contemporary practice. So see what other modern jewelers are doing. So what are people making? What is jewelry these days? What else can I tell you for jewelry? Be great if you could do some model making. You know, that can be done with clay or even blue tack, which is the thing you use. I don't know what the other international terms would be, but you use it to hang posters on your wall. So a bit of model making is appreciated but not required. Sketch work is going to be really important for jewelry. So looking at your sketches and your ideas for jewelry. What else can I tell you for jewelry? Yeah, jewelry is one of those ones that no one really at high school level has much experience of. So a lot of what you put in a jewelry portfolio is going to be critiques of other people's works, is going to be looking at other people's works and creating sketches based on those, and creating sketches that you might want to try in the future but just can't right now because you know you don't have the access to facilities for it. So please don't worry, we're not going to judge you for not having that prior physical making of jewelry. Okay, I hope that answered. Okay, all right, is there anything else? Okay, is there an A-level requirement to apply, or is it just the GCSE? So it depends what you're studying and what you want to go into. So if you want to go direct into an undergraduate course, we require 137 UCAS points for architecture and 112 UCAS points for the rest of our art and design programs. So for architecture, that equates, I don't know my UCAS points off the top of my head, I do apologize. I want to say it's about an ABB, 137 points, but I really could be wrong. So best to go and check on the UCAS points comparison website. But we don't actually look at your GCSEs because not everyone does them. If you do have GCSEs and you've told us about them, we will ask to look at them. But if you've not been in a system where you do GCSEs, we're not going to ask for them. If you have GCSE English literature or English language, that's great because that will remove an English language requirement for you. But yeah, it's very flexible depending on what you have as to your specific requirements. Okay. So in a portfolio, is it all right to have paintings and visual art mediums? Yeah, 100%. Your portfolio should show us a range of different things, or can show us a range of different things. You know, we say that a portfolio should be about 70% focused on the course that you want to study, but that 70% can be such a huge range of different things that you want to put in. So let's say a fashion portfolio could be illustration, photography, sketchbooks, critiques, analysis, making of clothing, material samples, mood boards, mind maps. That 70% doesn't have to be, if it's jewelry, here is a ring. No, there's so many more things that you can put in. So yeah, please put paintings in, put visual arts in, put in what shows us your best aspects, what shows us who you are as an artist and what you want to produce as an artist. There's not a checklist for portfolios because everyone's so different in high school. And don't compare yourself to the people around you. Very often, what's good in high school isn't good at university. And our academics are very good at seeing your potential, even if you don't see it yourself. So don't stress about the portfolio. Don't stress about it. It's not as terrifying as it sounds, I promise. So regularly, do students send me their portfolio and they go, oh my God, I think it's awful. I hate it. Is this okay? And I look at this portfolio and it's brilliant. It's amazing. So often do we see these portfolios that you guys think are terrible, but are actually really good just because you don't understand what we're looking for. So please, please, please don't stress about it. I promise it will be okay. Probably if you're doing IB or A levels, the portfolio that you do for that is going to be more difficult than the portfolio that you put together for university. Okay. All right, guys, is there anything else I can tell you? Is there anything else you'd like to know? Okay, all right, so I'm going to finish this session. Again, my email is in the chat, but we will also send you an email with lots of different information in it as well. And any questions, you just let me know, but enjoy the week. go to loads of sessions and have lots of fun, and we'll see you at things in the future. Bye.